How to effectively control c6 with a minor piece. Have you ever wondered how to take control of the c6 square using a minor piece in chess? This square can be a game changer, especially in the middle game. Let's break down how to effectively manage c6 with either a knight or a bishop. First, it is essential to understand why c6 is so important. This square can serve as a strong outpost for your minor piece. When you place a knight or a bishop on c6, it can support attacks on the center or queenside. It can also limit your opponent's options by restricting their pawn breaks and piece activity. Now, choosing the right minor piece is key. If you decide to place a knight on c6, it can apply pressure on central squares like d4 and e5. It can also threaten important enemy pawns or pieces. On the other hand, a bishop controlling c6 from a diagonal, such as b5 to c6 or a4 to c6, can influence the center and queenside while pinning or pressuring enemy pawns. Once you have your minor piece on c6, securing the outpost is vital. You want to make sure your opponent cannot easily dislodge your piece with their pawns. This often means controlling or preventing their b7 or d7 pawns from advancing. Supporting your minor piece with your own pawns or other pieces will help maintain its position. The pawn structure around c6 plays a significant role as well. If your opponent has pawns on b7 and d7, it will be easier to control c6 with a knight if you can stop these pawns from moving to b5 or d5. Sometimes, pushing your own pawns to b5 or d5 can help secure the outpost. Coordinating with other pieces is another effective strategy. Minor piece control of c6 works best when combined with rooks, queens, or other minor pieces that control adjacent squares or open files. For example, having a rook on the c-file can back up a knight on c6, increasing its influence and making it harder for your opponent to remove it. Timing is also important. c6 often becomes a strong square when your opponent's pawn structure or piece placement creates weaknesses. If their dark-squared bishop is stuck behind their own pawns, or if they have no pawn that can contest c6, your minor piece can dominate the square. Sometimes, it is best to wait until your opponent commits to a specific pawn structure before occupying c6. In practical terms, openings like the Nimzo Indian defense often see white trying to control or occupy c6 with a knight to apply pressure on black's queenside. In various pawn structures, placing a knight on c6 can prevent black's d5 pawn break or support your own d5 push. Bishops controlling c6 from diagonals can pin or restrict enemy pawns, making it difficult for the opponent to challenge your control. Effectively controlling c6 with a minor piece involves selecting the right piece, securing the square against pawn advances, coordinating with other pieces, and exploiting your opponent's weaknesses. This control can limit your opponent's options and create strong positional pressure, often becoming a key factor in your middle game strategy.